Did you know that a single driving mistake in Canada could now cost you over $10,000, even if no one gets hurt? In 2026, new traffic laws are catching thousands of drivers off guard, and the penalties are bigger, faster, and more high-tech than ever before. From AI speed cameras to real-time digital plate tracking, you could be racking up fines without even knowing it. What's even scarier? These changes aren't just about road safety anymore. They're about data, surveillance, and zero tolerance. Just having your phone within reach while driving could be enough to lose your license. And if you think a small mistake in one province won't follow you across the country, think again. In this video, we're breaking down the top 10 new Canadian driving laws that could cost you thousands or even millions if you're not careful. Stay with us, because missing just one could change everything. Number 1. Digital plates are watching you. In 2026, digital license plates have gone from optional tech to mandatory surveillance tools in provinces like Ontario and British Columbia, especially for commercial and fleet vehicles. These plates are no longer just identification tags. They now come equipped with real-time GPS tracking, speed monitoring, and automated data sharing with government servers. What does that mean for you? It means your car is constantly transmitting information about where you are, how fast you're going, and even how long you've been sitting still. While this might sound like something out of a sci-fi movie, the implications are very real. If the system detects violations, like speeding, long idling, or unauthorized routes, fines can be issued automatically. For business owners or delivery drivers, this can quickly stack up to thousands in monthly penalties, even if no police officer ever pulls you over. And if your vehicle is part of a corporate fleet, non-compliance could result in insurance increases or government contract suspensions. To avoid becoming a victim of this digital crackdown, it's critical to stay aware of the data your plate is transmitting. Keep your vehicle's telematics software updated, track your trip logs regularly, and stick to regulated routes and driving times. If you're a gig worker or small business owner using your car for deliveries, make sure you understand the new compliance rules set by your province. One overlooked route or excessive idle period could now be flagged, recorded, and fined without any warning at all. Number 2. Idle for too long? You'll pay big. In January 2026, Canada introduced strict anti-idling laws that are already catching thousands of drivers by surprise. Across multiple provinces, it is now illegal to let your vehicle idle for more than 3 minutes, even in cold weather. Whether you're waiting for your kids outside school, warming up your engine in your driveway, or stuck in traffic with the engine running, the clock is ticking. And if you go over, you could face hefty fines up to $1,500 per violation. This law is part of Canada's aggressive push towards zero emissions by 2035, and enforcement is being taken very seriously. What's changed this year is not just the rule itself, but how it's being enforced. In many cities, smart sensors and idle detection cameras are being used to monitor high-traffic areas like school zones, residential streets, and commercial parking lots. If your vehicle is detected running longer than allowed, you won't get a warning. Instead, a fine is mailed directly to your home, sometimes without any human officer involved. And yes, even hybrid vehicles are included if the gas engine kicks in during idle periods. The best way to protect yourself: start treating your engine like a ticking clock. Use remote starters with built-in auto shut-off to warm your vehicle legally. Invest in an engine block heater to reduce warm-up time during the winter months. And when parked for even short periods, just shut the engine off. These small adjustments not only save you from massive fines but also reduce fuel use and help protect the environment. With zero-tolerance enforcement becoming the norm, this is one law you can't afford to ignore, because a cozy warm car could now cost you hundreds. Number 3. AI cameras know your average speed. You might think you're safe from speeding tickets as long as you slow down when you see a camera, but that trick won't work anymore. In 2026, several Canadian provinces have rolled out AI-powered speed enforcement systems that do much more than capture a snapshot of your speed at one point. These new systems track your average speed over a distance, comparing the time it takes you to travel between two fixed points. If you arrive too fast, even if you slowed down near the camera, the AI knows, and you get a ticket. These systems are now active in parts of Ontario, Quebec, and Alberta, especially in construction zones, school areas, and long highways where traditional enforcement was difficult. And the penalties aren't small. Fines start at $500 and can exceed $2,500 depending on how far over the speed limit you were and whether you're a repeat offender. What makes this more alarming is that many drivers have no idea they're being tracked until the fine shows up in the mail, along with a detailed report of their journey. To avoid being caught by this smart enforcement, it's no longer enough to just hit the brakes when you see a speed camera. You need to maintain a legal average speed throughout your entire trip. Use cruise control in monitored zones and always check for signs that indicate automated speed enforcement ahead. They're legally required in most provinces. It's also smart to stay informed about where these zones are being tested or expanded. Because in 2026, it's not just about how fast you're going right now. It's about how fast you've been going the whole time, and the AI watching you doesn't miss a thing. Number 4. Your phone doesn't have to be in your hand. In a major shift from previous distracted driving laws, several provinces in Canada have now ruled that just having your phone within reach while driving can be considered illegal. That's right, you don't even need to be using it. If your phone is sitting on the passenger seat, in a cup holder, or anywhere you could quickly grab it, you're at risk of being fined. This new interpretation stems from research showing that drivers are still mentally distracted just by knowing the phone is easily accessible, even if they never touch it. The fines for this offense are steep, up to $1,200, with license suspensions for repeat offenders. Law enforcement officers are now trained to assess not just physical use but perceived readiness to use, meaning if they believe you were about to interact with your device or had it in an unsafe position, they can issue a citation. Dashcams and road cameras are also being used to identify distracted drivers by analyzing hand positions, eye movements, and even interior vehicle angles. And no, hands-free mode doesn't always save you, especially if the phone is loose and visible. To stay safe and legal, it's time to rethink how you carry your devices. Store your phone in a glove compartment, center console, or lockbox before you start the engine. If you rely on GPS or calls, invest in a government-approved dash mount that keeps your phone fixed and your hands completely off it. For those using rideshare or delivery apps, make sure you're operating within the platform's legal compliance tools. This law isn't just about texting and driving anymore. It's about eliminating temptation altogether, because now, your phone being just there is enough to cost you big. Number 5. Aggressive driving means more than you think. In 2026, the definition of aggressive driving in Canada has expanded far beyond speeding or road rage. Under the new laws adopted by several provinces, behaviors like tailgating, unnecessary honking, rapid lane changes, brake checking, and even flashing your high beams can now be classified as aggressive driving, especially in residential areas, school zones, or around vulnerable road users like cyclists and pedestrians. These changes are based on traffic psychology studies that link subtle forms of aggression to an increase in accident risk and public stress on the roads. The consequences are no longer minor. If you're flagged for aggressive driving under the new rules, you could face fines of up to $3,000, 6 or more demerit points, and in serious cases, mandatory road safety courses or temporary license suspension. What's more troubling is that many of these incidents are now being captured by roadside surveillance cameras, dash cams from other vehicles, and even crowdsourced video from citizens, which law enforcement is legally allowed to use as evidence. If someone submits a video of you tailgating or weaving between lanes, you could receive a citation in the mail days later, without ever being pulled over. To stay protected, you need to become more mindful of how your driving feels to others, not just whether you're following speed limits. Keep extra distance between your vehicle and others, especially in slower zones. Avoid honking unless it's for safety, and signal clearly before every lane change. If you're running late or feeling impatient, remind yourself that the cost of a few seconds saved on the road could now result in thousands of dollars in fines and serious legal trouble. This isn't just about being polite anymore. It's the law, and the line between assertive and aggressive is now thinner than ever. Before we continue, quick question. Have any of these new laws already affected you or someone you know? Drop a comment below. We read every single one. And if you're finding this video helpful, support our work by hitting that subscribe button. It's just one click, but it means everything to us. Number 6. Dashcams are now mandatory for gig drivers. If you drive for a rideshare or delivery platform like Uber, Lyft, DoorDash, or Skip the Dishes, there's a new law in effect that you can't afford to ignore. As of 2026, multiple provinces in Canada now require gig economy drivers to install active, recording dashcams in their vehicles. This rule was introduced to protect both drivers and passengers, but failure to comply can result in fines ranging from $2,000 to $10,000, deactivation from the platform, or even suspension of your commercial driving privileges. The dashcams must meet strict legal standards. They must be front-facing, securely mounted, and capable of storing encrypted footage for up to 90 days. Some platforms have started offering approved devices at a discount, but the responsibility for proper installation and use falls entirely on the driver. Authorities and platform auditors can now request footage for review if a passenger lodges a complaint, if there's a traffic incident, or even during random checks. If you're found to be driving without an active or compliant dashcam, you could face immediate penalties, regardless of how safe your driving record is. To stay compliant, gig drivers should act now. Make sure you're using a dashcam that meets provincial privacy and storage regulations. Keep extra memory cards and backup footage regularly. Understand the data access rules and only share footage with proper authorities or platform support when required. This isn't just a formality, it's about legal protection. A dashcam can defend you against false claims, prove fault in accidents, and now, keep you legally operating within the rules of Canada's growing gig economy. As these platforms continue to expand, so does the government's effort to regulate them. And in 2026, that starts with what's on your dashboard. Number 7. Move over laws just got bigger. Most Canadian drivers know the rule. When you see flashing lights from police, fire trucks, or tow trucks, you move over a lane. But in 2026, that law has been expanded in several provinces, and failing to follow it could now cost you up to $2,500 in fines, even if you thought you were doing the right thing. The new rules require drivers to clear 2 full lanes of space when approaching any stopped emergency or roadside assistance vehicle, where possible. If you're in a multi-lane road or highway and only move over 1 lane, that may no longer be enough. This change comes after a spike in roadside injuries involving first responders and tow operators. Studies found that even with 1 lane of space, high-speed traffic still created dangerous conditions. Now, if 2 lanes are available, you must use both to give a safety buffer, even if that means merging early or slowing down significantly. These laws also apply to a broader range of vehicles than before, including construction crews, snowplows, and utility vehicles with flashing amber lights. And with dashcam footage and traffic cameras being used to issue fines, officers don't even have to witness the violation firsthand. To stay compliant and safe, always scan ahead for flashing lights, reduce your speed, and change lanes as soon as it's safe. If you're unable to move over 2 lanes due to traffic, slow down to at least 40 kilometers per hour below the posted limit. Treat every stopped vehicle with lights flashing as a high-risk zone, because that's exactly how the law now sees it. Ignoring this expanded rule, even for a second, could not only cost you thousands, but also put lives at risk. In 2026, giving space isn't just polite. It's mandatory. Number 8. Insurance companies are watching your driving. In 2026, a quiet but powerful change has taken place in how insurance fraud is detected in Canada. Thanks to new agreements between provincial governments and private insurers, your telematics data, information about how, when, and where you drive, can now be legally accessed to investigate claims. That means if you file an insurance report and the data from your vehicle doesn't match your story, your claim could be flagged, denied, or even reported as fraud, with penalties reaching up to $100,000 and possible criminal charges. Telematics data is collected from many sources: your vehicle's onboard system, mobile driving apps, or even devices plugged into your car's diagnostic port. While these tools were originally marketed to help drivers save money with usage-based insurance, they're now being used to verify incident details like speed, location, braking patterns, and time of day. If you say the accident happened at 5 p.m., but your telematics shows you were speeding through a different part of town at that time, the insurer may not just deny the claim. They could launch a formal investigation. To protect yourself, always be honest and accurate when reporting an accident or claim. If you've opted into a telematics program, review your data regularly and know what's being tracked. Understand the privacy agreement you signed with your insurance provider. Many Canadians are shocked to learn they've already given consent to share their driving habits. And if you drive safely, that data could work in your favor, proving you're not at fault. But in this new era of digital accountability, the days of relying on he said, she said are over. Your car is now a witness, and it remembers everything, even when you don't. Number 9. Misfueling can now cost you thousands. In 2026, a surprising new law has taken effect across several Canadian provinces. Using the wrong fuel in certain vehicles is now a punishable offense, not just a mechanical mistake. With the rise of hybrid, plug-in hybrid, and electric vehicles, provincial transportation authorities have implemented strict regulations to prevent misfueling, especially in rental cars, fleet vehicles, and newer environmentally regulated models. If you accidentally fill a plug-in hybrid with regular gas when it was set to run on electric mode, or use diesel in a gas engine, you could face fines of up to $7,000, plus liability for damages. This move comes after an increase in misfueling incidents tied to new vehicle technologies and growing confusion around multi-fuel systems. The government now considers certain types of fuel misuse as a form of vehicle tampering, especially when it affects emissions, battery systems, or leads to costly malfunctions. What's worse, some insurance policies are starting to exclude coverage for damage caused by incorrect fueling, leaving drivers to pay repair costs entirely out of pocket. Even car rental companies have adopted zero-tolerance policies. Misfueling can lead to full recovery charges and being blacklisted from future rentals. To avoid becoming a victim of this little-known but expensive law, always double-check the fuel type before filling up, especially if you're renting a vehicle or driving something unfamiliar. Many new vehicles now include color-coded fuel caps and dashboard alerts, so take a moment to verify. Don't rely on assumptions. Just because a car looks like a typical sedan doesn't mean it runs on regular fuel. And if you're unsure, ask. Because one wrong move at the pump in 2026 isn't just an honest mistake anymore. It's a legal and financial hazard that could burn a hole in your wallet. Number 10. Tickets now follow you across provinces. For years, many Canadian drivers believed that getting a traffic ticket in a different province was no big deal, something that might stay local and not show up back home. But in 2026, that loophole has officially closed. With the rollout of a national driving record integration system, traffic violations now follow you anywhere in Canada. That means if you get a speeding ticket in Alberta but live in Nova Scotia, it will still appear on your driving record, impact your insurance, and even count toward license suspensions in your home province. This change is part of a federal initiative aimed at closing gaps in interprovincial enforcement. Until recently, provinces operated with a patchwork of agreements, which allowed many drivers to avoid the full consequences of tickets outside their jurisdiction. But now, all 10 provinces and 3 territories have agreed to share real-time data on violations, fines, demerit points, suspensions, and even unpaid tolls. If you fail to pay or address a ticket from another province, you could be denied license renewal, face higher insurance premiums, or be flagged by law enforcement during a routine stop. To protect yourself under this new system, take every ticket seriously, no matter where you receive it. Pay fines promptly, request official documentation, and track your national driving record through the new federal traffic portal. If you're planning a road trip or moving between provinces, be especially cautious about local laws and signage, as minor mistakes can now have nationwide consequences. In 2026, there's nowhere to hide from a driving violation in Canada. Your record follows you, and the penalties are synchronized. What used to be a small, out-of-province inconvenience could now turn into a serious legal and financial setback if ignored. As you've just seen, driving in Canada in 2026 has changed in ways that most people aren't prepared for. What used to be simple mistakes, like warming up your car too long, leaving your phone on the seat, or speeding up for just a few seconds, can now cost you thousands of dollars, your license, or even lead to criminal charges. The new rules are tougher, the technology is smarter, and the margin for error is shrinking fast. These laws aren't just about traffic safety anymore. They're about data, accountability, and enforcement at a whole new level. Whether you're a daily commuter, a weekend road tripper, or someone who drives for a living, you need to stay informed. Because the truth is, most of these changes won't be announced on the evening news or handed to you at the DMV. They're already active, already enforced, and they're already catching thousands of Canadians off guard. But here's the good news. Now you know what to watch out for. You have the chance to avoid unnecessary fines, protect your driving record, and stay one step ahead of the system. So don't let a hidden camera, a misread rule, or a digital mistake drain your wallet. Stay smart, stay alert, and most importantly, stay up to date. We'd love to hear from you. Which of these new laws shocked you the most? Or have you already been affected by one? Drop your story in the comments below, and let's get the conversation started. If you found this video helpful, please support us. We put a lot of effort into researching and simplifying this content for you, and your support means the world. Hit that subscribe button. It's just one click, but it helps us more than you know.